Hey folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce for the American Liberty Radio Network, and I just, oh my God, so much going on that I almost did not want to do a podcast today because, well, I've been a little busy and been dealing with some physical ailments for the last several days. I really don't like bringing stuff up like that, but yeah, a couple of things are just not quite right, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'll deal with those later. No big deal. How you doing, folks? It's the 10th of May, 2017. Are you doing good? No, seriously. You look around your life, the people you're with, your family members, your coworkers. How you doing? You feeling, how you feeling? You feel like taking a couple of days off will do it, There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, Just take a couple of days off, relax a little bit, and then kind of, regroup, reset, you know what I mean? Go from there. And you'll be fine, Psychologists have from years ago, about 10 years ago, I saw a report where psychologists have said that by taking a day off from work once a month, that everything gets reset. Okay. So, hey, don't take my word for it. Go look up the reports. But yeah, taking a day off, that's something to kind of recharge your cells and, go from there. I almost wanted to take the day off today. Almost. But I didn't, because you guys are looking for the truth, the facts. You're looking for, things that matter in life, It's amazing to me, okay, that there are so many people out there who really take life too serious. I mean, there are. Really? Seriously? I mean, yeah. There are a lot of people who take life way too seriously. Now, I do want to say this. It's okay to take life serious, but you got to take a day off every once in a while. Okay? Now, I say that because coming up on Friday, the 12th, this is the 10th of May, 2017. Coming up on Friday the 12th, I will be taking the day off. So you will be hearing an encore, two encores actually, Friday and Saturday, of, the podcast. Because, I got a lot of things going on outside of the studio. This is my day job. This is what I do, and I encourage you to support that. And if you are supporting that, thank you. Just by sharing the show, you're supporting it. So thank you. I appreciate that. Or you can financially support the network if you'd like by going to American Liberty Radio Network at AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Go to the sponsors page. Become a patron. There's a become a patron link there. And you can drop $1 in a kitty to keep me, keep the lights on around here, is like I like to say. You know what I mean? Now, so Friday and Saturday I will be taking a couple of days off just to unwind, just to regroup, reset, and just go from there. And like I said, I got some other things going on outside of the studio, so I'm not stopping, I'm not stopping myself from doing something because I got something going on. So Friday and Saturdays, this Friday and Saturday, I'll be taking the 2 days off. So just to forewarn you, there will be an encore of the podcast of the American Liberty Radio Network podcast. And they're also going to be an encore of the Truth Experience. So look forward to that. So anyway, folks, if you, like I said before, if you want to support the network financially, you can. If you want, if you so choose to do so, it's entirely up to you. You can go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com, go to the sponsors page. If you want to be a sponsor, if you want to advertise on the network, there's all the information right there that you would ever want to know. That's it right there. If you want to become a patron, you can. Just drop $1 in the kitty to help me keep the lights on around here. So there you go. So on with the show, folks. On with the show. And, yeah, we got a lot. Comey has been fired. FBI Director James Comey has been fired by Trump. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall for that conversation. You know, that would have been neat. Let me go back just a second here, because I want to make sure that you understand something. Let me go back to this. In Pahrump, Nevada, in Clark County, or I forget what it is. Anyway, there are political prisoners in prison. There are political prisoners in prison in the United States of America near Las Vegas. Okay? They don't need to be there. They're completely and utterly innocent. Okay? So if you want to help with getting these political prisoners out of prison, okay, you need to support them as well. And there's one place you can go to do that, and that is the Guerrilla Media Network, the home of the Pete Santilli Show. You can go to thepetesantillishow.com/donate, and you can help get him out of jail. Because he is, as it says here, Pete Santilli is a Cincinnati talk show host, journalist who traveled to Bunkerville, Nevada, to cover the story of Cliven Bundy and the fact that the Bureau of Land Management had surrounded his house with over 200 armed federal agents. These armed agents were violating civil rights, and Pete Santilli caught them on video. That video was aired by Fox News the following day, and the nation responded. Pete still holds it to be true that the BLM was poised to kill the Bundy family, and it was his duty as a journalist to expose that truth. Pete went to Bundy Ranch with nothing more than an iPod and a determination to tell the truth. He's now sitting in prison, folks. Pete Santilli faces 94 years in prison because he dared criticize the United States government and Barack Obama and the henchmen he authorized to kill the Bundy family. This past year, on the 6th of September 2016, a case was dismissed against Pete in Oregon after the prosecution said the government lacked the evidence to prove the FBI's claim he acted outside his role as a journalist while reporting on the attempted adverse possession of the Mulhare Wildlife Refuge located in Harney County, Oregon. Pete spent 8 months in jail awaiting that trial, and now awaits trial in Nevada and has been in jail for a year. And you can support Pete Santilli by donating today. And you can go donate via PayPal. Okay, so you can do that. It's all right there on Guerrilla Media Network. Okay. And the PeteSantilliShow.com/donate. There's a plenty of ways to donate to his legal defense and also other things as well, you know. So please do that, because we have political prisoners here in the United States of America that should not be in prison, period. Okay? That's just the way it is. We have political prisoners here in the United States. Clifford Cunningham from Infowars.com, 10th of May, 2017. Dems suddenly care about the Constitution over Trump's firing of Comey. Deep State will use narrative to justify removing Trump from office. Yeah, the Dems don't give one rip about anything other than their collective communitarianism. Thank you, Nikki Rapana, for that word. The collective communitarianism of the Democrats is this, and it boils down to this: communism, period. That's it. There is no other way to look at it, because when you look at the very nature of today's Democratic Party, from, I would say, in the last 50 years or so, the Democratic Party is nothing more than a closeted communist party. But now, in the last 6 months to a year, since the campaign started for, President Trump and the presidential elections in the last 18 months, the Democrats have shown their true colors, and their true colors is communism. It's the red with the, it's the red flag with the hammer and sickle on it. That's the Democratic Party, people. That's what we're dealing with here. Okay. We're not dealing with anything other than Communist Party against the patriots of the United States of America. And when I say patriots, I'm not talking Republican Party either, because their Republican Party is fascist. Okay? They are. I mean, when you look at, as I said, look at today's Republican Party. Congressional Democrats are warning President Donald Trump's decision to fire FBI Director James Comey could lead to a, quote, constitutional crisis, unquote, as the deep state prepares to use the firing to put Trump on the, quote, first mile of the Richard Nixon road to impeachment, unquote. Let me tell you something right now. Richard Nixon knew, because, there's like 18 minutes of tape, missing. Richard Nixon knew that there was something going on. He wasn't told the details. This came out years later. I've researched this. This came out years later. Richard Nixon knew that something was going on. Somebody was planning something. A group of people were going to do something. He didn't know what it was. He had no details from what I could tell in my research. And he literally turned a blind eye to it. But with the Democrats and all those people in office back then, and that was in the early 70s, 73, 74, he knew what was going on, and these people pushed him to the edge with news reports, with arresting certain people that were involved and all this. And then all these news organizations, even back then, diluted the news to give you what we call today fake news, and pushed the narrative that Nixon knew something. Well, it didn't matter that these 4 or 5 guys were arrested and all that. No. That was news. But no. The narrative within each and every news broadcast was President Nixon knew something. That there was no details. There's no details, just President Nixon knew something. So, bring it up to 2017. This is similar in the fact that President Trump doesn't like liars, and therefore looked at Comey and went, "You're out of here, dude. Bye. Pack up your office. You're out of here." Now the Democrats are saying, "Oh, wait. You can't do that. Yeah, we were against the Constitution a long time ago, but you can't do this." No, it's the deep state. It's the shadow government. When you see the words deep state, let me remind you of something. Shadow government. Same thing. Okay? And this is true with every other country that's out there that's industrialized and has the semblance of a democratic, I use air quotes around that, a democratic voting procedures to elect their officials. This is true in any other country. I don't give one rip what country it is. This is true in any other country. This is how it happens. The deep state, the shadow government of the world is dictating what goes on in each of these countries. Let me just simplify this for you. It's a massive global chess game, and they're moving the pieces around. Okay? That's what it is. Okay? Congressional Democrats are warning President Donald Trump's decision to fire FBI Director James Comey could lead to a constitutional crisis as the deep state prepares to use the firing to put Trump on the first mile of the Richard Nixon road to impeachment. They use that because they want to make this sound bigger than what it truly is, which is a bunch of bullcrap. Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey was the first Democrat member of the Congress to suggest the country is in peril following Donald Trump's decision to fire Comey, arguing the decision set a terrible precedent given the FBI's ongoing investigations into alleged collusion between the Russian government and the Trump campaign. No. It's already been found out that there is no collusion between Russia and anything that they've done to affect the outcome of the American election, period, end of sentence. All of it has been debunked. Okay, these Democrats are still pushing that narrative. Remember Nixon pushing narrative of Nixon knew something, or these Democrats in Nixon's era was, you get the point, right? Quote, "This episode is disturbingly reminiscent of the Saturday Night Massacre during the Watergate scandal and the national turmoil that it caused," Markey said. Quote, "We are careening even closer to a constitutional crisis, and this development only underscores why we must appoint a special prosecutor to fully investigate any dealings the Trump campaign or administration had with Russia." Guess what? They've already done that. Okay. Michigan Representative John Conyers echoed Markey's comparison of the firing of Comey to the Watergate scandal, suggesting the move, quote, "places our nation on the verge of a constitutional crisis," unquote. Do you see the narrative being played out here, folks? I wanted to get this because this is big news. Comey's been fired. This is big news. So I wanted to break this down for you folks so that you know exactly what the opposition, the Democrats, the Marxists, the Leninists, the communists are doing to the American people and to the American political way of life. This is what is going on. I'm showing you right here. I'm breaking it down to show you, number one, the narrative they're using, number two, what the purpose is for that narrative, and three, what the outcome will be from their point of view. Quote, "There is little doubt that the president's actions hearkened our nation back to the Watergate and the Saturday Night Massacre," unquote, Conyers said. Quote, "This decision makes it clear that we must have an independent, nonpartisan commission to investigate both Russia interference in the U.S. election and allegations of collusion between the government of Vladimir Putin and the Trump campaign," unquote. Folks, let me, and there's more to this, and I'll put this up on the American Liberty Radio podcast Facebook page. But folks, let me bottom line this whole discussion here, and then I'll move on to something else. And that is, if Russia wanted to influence the United States of American electoral process, they could. They didn't. Because it has been found out, not only by the FBI, but by independent investigators, it never happened. It never happened. The communists, the Democrats, the Democratic Socialists, they're communists. The Democratic Socialists are pushing this narrative that Russia influenced our election. No, they didn't. It's been found out that they didn't. So let's just get that out of the way. Okay, and that's the bottom line. They had no influence whatsoever in the election of the United States president. Trump eviscerates Dems amid Comey uproar. Dan Lyman, Infowars.com, 10 May 2017. President points out hypocrisy of flip-flopping Dems. President Trump unleashed a salvo of tweets aiming at crying, lying Democrats, including pointing out Senator Chuck Schumer's wildly flip-flopping opinion of former FBI Director James Comey and nailing Senator Richard Blumenthal for stolen valor. He began last night with a direct strike on Schumer. Quote, "Crying Chuck Schumer stated recently, 'I don't have confidence in him, James Comey, any longer,' unquote. Then acts so indignant. said the president in a tweet. During the press conference to address Comey's termination, Schumer continued to push the Russian election hacking conspiracy. And it goes on from there. I'm going to put that up, because this also tells you who's the head of this grand, excuse me. I did this. Let me break in here. By the way, let me finish my thought. Chuck Schumer is the head of this narrative. He's the one reading the book to the American people that the deep state, New World Order minions have written. Chuck Schumer's the guy. This just popped up on my Facebook. New, add a way for people to contact their government representatives from your post. That's what it popped up. I don't have my cell phone with me, but this just popped up. I kid you not. This just popped up. I went to, post in American Liberty Radio Network and American Liberty Radio Podcast, and I clicked the box, and this popped up. Little blue box underneath this, pointing at this little icon that looks like a federal building, and it says new, ! Add a way for people to contact their government representatives from your post. Okay? That just popped up. I'm letting you know. That just popped up. So anyway, Chuck Schumer is the guy you need to watch. That's on that side of the aisle. On the other side of the aisle, it's Paul Ryan, so the Republican fascist. So there you go. That's that part of it there. So anyway. Now, we're not the only ones suffering the onslaught of, all this corrupt governmental interference with the people's rights, okay? We're not the only one. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Dan Lyman, Infowars.com, 10 May 2017. Polish MP. Quote, French no longer have strength to fight for France, unquote. Quote, the French are dying and without God, unquote, he says. A Polish parliamentarian has accused the French of being godless and surrendering to globalist domination in the wake of France's presidential election and their selection of former Rothschild banker Emmanuel Macron to lead the collapsing nation. Well, it's going to collapse even further, folks. I'll put that on there as well on the American Liberty Radio Podcast. There's a lot of news. See, there it is again, right there. It popped up again, folks. New, add a way for people to contact their government representatives from your post. There you go. Don't tell me that Facebook is not in collusion with or connected in any way with the federal government. Don't tell me they're not, okay, because they are, period. End of sentence. Go to gab.ai or minds.com, minds.com. Because coming up in the near future, I'm going to tell you a few things that are going to happen with American Liberty Radio Network. So stay tuned. Keep your ears open for that. I'll tease you along the way to tell you what's happening. Colbert, Stephen Colbert is a freaking idiot. I used to like him. Now I don't because he's just a douchebag. Colbert audience cheers Comey firing, gets rebuked by Colbert, changes to jeering Trump. Liberals watch these late night shows as some sort of weird therapy. So that's on Infowars.com. Celebrities melt down over Comey firing, full-blown constitutional crisis. Hollywood celebrities reacted with shock and anger Tuesday following the White House's announcement that President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey. Hollywood celebrities, folks. Folks, I have a theater background, okay? I've been in theater for years. I'm still in theater. I volunteer and I work at a theater. And let me say this, okay? Actors out there, actors, actresses, producers, directors, all you executive producers in theater and in film, let me just point something out to you, okay? Let me say this statement to you, okay? Shut your big damn mouth and Get out of politics. Don't use your forum for the bullcrap that you're trying to spread. Shut the hell up. You got a job to do that people pay you for when they go to the movie theater or go to the theaters itself. So shut the hell up. You got nothing to say about politics. I'll give you a prime example. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay? Give me another prime example. Ronald Reagan. Here's why I say that. Real quick, real brief. You start talking about politics, your career is going to go in the shitter. You understand me? Especially in today's environment and political climate. So just keep that in mind, executive producers, actors, directors, actresses, all these performers. Shut your damn mouth on politics. Don't use your platform as an actor to spread your political bullcrap. Okay? I got opinions. I share with you the news. I share with you what's going on. I give you my point of view. I show you exactly who's behind the curtain pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. That's what I do. Do I have a political belief? Yeah, I'm nonpartisan. If you want to say it, I'm independent. Matter of fact, I like what Nick Tucker says. I'm a political atheist. I really don't. I don't care about, how am I going to put this for you to understand this? I don't vote. Why? Because votes don't count. It's already been seen. There's a big documentary out there that shows the percentages and all this, and it does not matter. Your votes don't count, period. End of sentence. The more money that people put in political parties, that party is going to win. And it's always going to be the populist person or candidate that will win the office. Because Donald Trump has had his face on TV for more than a decade. People like him in some way, shape, or form. He's now our president. So shut your damn mouth, Mr. Actor, Mrs. Actor, executive producers. You don't need to use your platforms for some political freaking bullcrap that you want to, show the American people. You keep talking about politics, George Clooney. You keep talking about politics, what's her face, Oprah Winfrey and all of that. You're just going to show people how stupid you truly are. Mr. Steve Colbert. Shut the hell up. I would say, before I go to break, that within the last, say, 20 years or more, the one person that could get away and explain politics in a very direct, very revealing way was Mr. George Carlin. That's the only person that could get away with it. No one else could. Because he explained it in a way that every mom and pop could understand. Go to YouTube and look up George Carlin. I don't know. I mean, let me also lay this out for you. You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying I'm disgusted with Hollywood right now. I just am. I'm disgusted with these, pseudo-political ramblings of Hollywood elites. I'm done with it. They're stupid. I don't really care. They can just shut up. Just make your damn movie, collect your money, and go home. Okay. I'm going to go to break. American Liberty.
Fine Line with Live Truth Radio and TV. You're listening to Wayne S. Pierce with American Liberty Radio.
You know what you want. You want the truth. You want the facts. Without all the BS. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Distorted Reality. I am your host, Nick Tucker, and I welcome you to the broadcast.
Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. DistortedReality.podbean.com and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network.
There's a show that's not afraid to ask questions no one else will ask. Not afraid to say
what no one else will say.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. Listen to Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie, where no topic is off limits. Conspiracy theories, paranormal activity, hoaxes, the unexplained. It's what we talk about. Question everything. Trust no one. Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie. Friday at 7 p.m. on the KCOR Digital Radio Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, hey there, folks. Welcome back. This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Go to the sponsors page, drop $1 in the kitty, and become a patron, and help me keep the lights on around here, folks. Hey, a couple of things, folks. Little changes that I'm going to start making with American Liberty Radio Network here on Spreaker.com. And that's the platform I use for the show. So a couple of changes, little bits here and there, of course, and I'm still planning on some bigger changes. So, stay tuned for that. And that is, when I record these podcasts, I immediately put them up after they're done, after I've, done everything I needed to do. I put them up immediately and they're there. But now, starting next week or maybe the week after, I've still got to, sit there and plan all this out and see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to record the podcast, but I'm going to put them on at a certain time. I can do that. Okay. I don't know specifically what time to put them on, but so that's why I'm coming to you to ask you when I should put them on. What time in the Pacific time, Eastern time, or UK time, whatever. And of course, you can definitely listen to them anytime you want because they're archived. But when do you think I should put them on? I'm thinking somewhere right after I record them, upload them, and all that good stuff. I'm thinking about noon Pacific. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm still, still tossing around a few ideas there. But I'm thinking noon Pacific. Okay, that would be 1 p.m. Mountain Time where I'm at. That would be 2 Central and 3 Eastern. So, so I think, I don't know, I'm still tossing around some ideas. So you let me know what a good time is. Now, again, let me also remind you that you can listen to it any time because it's archived. Okay? So I'm just letting you know. So I'm just little things changing along the way. So, big changes coming. Stay tuned for that. And it's all going to benefit you folks. So I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you guys, showing your support in one way or another. It's kind of weird. I go to Spreaker and I look at the statistics and I'm averaging at about 20, 25 plays, on the network, which I used to get a hell of a lot more than that. So I don't know what's going on. So, Anyway, let me also say this because I call this a humanitarian story because it is one of the things that is happening in our world and needs to stop and will stop with the collective mindset of the patriots and of people who care about children. International online pedophile ring busted in the Philippines, potentially the country's largest ever seizure of illicit digital content. The Daily Mail yesterday, the 9th of May 2017. Vile images have emerged from inside the home of an American man suspected of exploiting Filipino children and using webcams to sell videos, images, and live streams. I'm not going to give his name, but he was arrested at his Philippines home last month in what was potentially the largest ever seizure of illicit digital content in the country. So I'm going to put that on American Liberty Radio podcast. I find it incredibly odd that people are that, dysfunctional. And just, seriously. It's just, I don't care who you are, where you are in the world. That is some very disturbing things that are happening around the world in that type of setting, deviant behavior like that. It's just, Breaking Trump to Comey, you're fired. Quote, it is essential that we find new leadership for the FBI that restores public trust and confidence in its vital law enforcement mission, unquote. That is the purpose for which Comey was fired. That is the reason for, not the purpose, the reason why he was fired. Okay? Now, here's something else that I want to share with you. Kent Daniels, Infowars.com, 9th of May 2017. That was yesterday. College destroys books after digitization, sparking fears of 1984-style censorship. Digitized books altered, original sources destroyed, just like 1984. California universities were caught removing and even destroying library books after digitizing them, a process critics warn leads to 1984-style censorship in which only, quote-unquote, corrected copies of books remain. Can you say revisionist history, folks? That's exactly what's going on. UC Berkeley, I could have guessed, in particular, recently removed 135,000 books from its school library, claiming that by digitizing the books, library space can be reused for meeting rooms or nap pods. Nap pods. Let me say that again, folks. This is UC Berkeley. They're looking for nap pods. Okay? But libraries have existed since the Middle Ages as vaults of knowledge safe from tampering. In comparison, the way universities are disappearing books after digitizing them allows anyone with the politically correct agenda a way to alter books during digitization, including important text on history, science, and humanities, without anyone ever knowing. There you go. I'm just going to put that on American Liberty Radio podcast for you all to check out. Can you say 1984? Folks, I'm going to choose my words wisely here. I have known for many, many years, that our government literally does. When I say government, let me reiterate this. Our government is Washington, D.C., and those of the deep state shadow government. I've known for years that these people do not like the American way of life, the westernized, culture that we have in this nation. I've known that since, shortly after I graduated high school. Okay. Shortly after I graduated high school, when I was still investigating and researching several things at the San Joaquin County Library in Stockton, California, I was going to reference books. I was going to history books. I was going to, literature. I was reading a lot. Okay. And then, I decided to go in the military. Got out and continued my research, continued my investigation. Here and there, bits and pieces. And then when I was in my early 30s, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do this full time. As much as I can at that time, right? Because I was working a day job and I was doing other things, So, we all have a life, don't we? I have a life outside of the studio, so, seriously. But I investigated a lot of stuff. I've done a lot of stuff. I've reached beyond some veils that people told me not to reach beyond. And, I saw things that people didn't want me to see. But guess what? It helped me open my eyes to the very fact that the deep state, the shadow government, is real. And this is true in any westernized nation around the world. It is real, and therefore is out to really annihilate any type of free thought that people have, any type of thinking that people do. In other words, the deep state shadow government wants you to think like them. Okay? So that's one of the things that I have known for many years, is that they want to wipe out free thinkers like you and I. Michael Snyder over at Economic Collapse. Baltimore has become a rotting, decaying war zone as a raging opioid epidemic eats away at the city like cancer. Unlike nearby Washington, D.C., Baltimore is a blue-collar city that is home to some of the hardest-working people in America. It is hard to believe that Baltimore was once one of the greatest cities in the entire world. I'm going to put that on there, on the American Liberty Radio podcast. I will not put up with anybody else's BS. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I cannot and will not cater to someone else's ignorance. It's all out there. Everything is out in your face. And people are putting a spin on this, on these things that they see. And they're saying, oh, well, that's not really what he meant. Or, no, that's really not what is happening. It's this, it's that. No, folks, it's in your face. I'll give you a prime example. I like to use, metaphors and analogies. So I'm going to use this baseball metaphor. When the runner goes from third to home and he slides into home, and the catcher tags him out, the coaches run out and go, no, he was safe. I saw it from here. Yeah, you saw it like from 30 feet away that he was safe. No, folks. The guy's out at home plate. That's just you know what I mean? So when you look at this stuff going on around the world, when you see what's happening, it's in your face. It's right there. There it is. You cannot, will not, should not ignore it. It's there. Don't put a spin on it. That's the way it is. The shadow government deep state is doing what it's doing to undermine the freedoms and liberties of the United States of America and its citizens, and that's the key point that I want to make. All these other things that are happening, like, like Jimmy Kimmel saying, late night court gestures push Obamacare, or any of that. That's all a distraction. The Democrats and people like Kimmel and other people like that and Hollywood celebrities, they're all, waving their big old banners going, no. Don't look at the truth. Don't look at the facts. No. Look over here. Look over here. We're distracting you from all that. We don't want you to see the truth or the facts. That's the key thing, folks. That's the key thing. I don't really give one rip about Hollywood anymore. Years ago when I was, studying acting and all that and going to, being in theater and all that, I thought, hey, I'm going to go to Hollywood. Several people that I know that went there, and I know a friend of mine lives there now or near there, they've told me before, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. Hollywood is a cesspool of just a bunch of bullcrap, okay? Well, it's all fake. Okay, that's the thing. It's all fake. You look at the economics of, just specifically, look at the economics of Hollywood compared to the outlying areas, and then you look at how much Hollywood is propped up by those outlying areas, and you'll see, just like California is and the rest of the United States, they are completely in debt and on the verge of collapse. Considering the fact that there are several movie theaters around the country that are owned by holding companies that have investments within the Paramounts and the Warner Brothers and all these companies. They own these movie theaters like Regal and Cinemark and all these other ones out. They're owned by holding companies, folks, who have investments with these movie studios. Okay? I mean, how else do you think a bunch of movies can get out to these places within the hours or days or weeks? Okay, that it takes them to get that movie out to the theater. I remember going to the theater as a kid and seeing a movie at a theater, and then 6 months later, 8 months later, almost a year later, that movie is still in the theater. Why? Because there was no efficient way to get that movie to that theater. Okay? Now, we got DHL, we've got FedEx, we've got local distributors. This is what's happening with the deep state shadow government. They've got minions and all these people all over the United States putting spins on these news stories. When in fact, when you brush all that away, you'll see the truth and the facts for what it is. That's just the way it is, folks. I mentioned Jimmy Kimmel. Let me show you this. David Knight reported on this. Senator Bill Cassidy will go on Jimmy Kimmel's show to push the healthcare propaganda Kimmel test. Late night court gesture pushes Obamacare. As the fight to provide relief for the taxation and mandates of the Obamacare moves to the Senate, GOP senators are now fighting to keep it. Republican senator will go on late night TV soon to push the Kimmel test. David Knight looks at the absurd idea that Obamacare was affordable and that Obama gave coverage to millions, an idea so ridiculous that Democrats have turned to late-night comedians like Jimmy Kimmel to push it. You see what I mean? The whole system is collapsing. The whole system is collapsing, folks. They're going to lie to you. They always have and they always will. The Democrats, the Republicans, all these people, they're going to lie to you. I do know this, and let me give you some positive feedback here. Let me give you some positive things to think about. First of all, you are the artist of your life. The canvas is everything you see around you. You paint the picture you want. Now, A, look at the truth and the facts, and B, don't take it so personal that somebody is attacking you for your beliefs. Okay? And I say that, your political beliefs. Let me just specify your political beliefs. Okay? I'm independent. I don't care. Votes don't count. Parties are clamoring to take control of something that they can't control in the first place. Okay? You are the artist of your life, and the reality that you paint is what you're going to have to live with. The other thing is that when you go to work, or when you go, play softball or take your kids to recitals or whatever, there is nothing more in this world that is more contentious than conflict. I've said it before, the Hollywood elites, the Hollywood celebrities need to shut their damn mouths and just keep making the movies. But when somebody brings up something at your kid's recital, like, hey man, did you hear about this, President Trump firing Comey? Don't say a word. Say, that's. Make it just like, okay, whatever. Shut them down with your non-compliant, don't consent to engaging with them and listening to their ignorant views. Okay? Don't give them any leeway. Just if somebody talks about, certain things, just don't even, And now, let me specify something here. I'm talking specifically about the Democratic Socialists, the Marxists, the Leninists, the Communists on the Democratic side, the Fascists on the Republican side. Those people who follow those organizations, the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee and all that, those affiliates for those parties and those constituents to those parties will always be in contention with you who sees the truth, knows the truth, has the facts, disseminates those facts to people that want to listen. These people are always going to be in contention with you. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. There's not going to be a moment that these people are not going to raise some sort of contentious idea towards you when you tell the truth and give the facts. They basically take their information that they have from the massive spin machine we call propaganda media, which is mainstream media. So, somebody said, well, why should I listen to you? I'm sure somebody out there is saying that. Why should I listen to you? Because I got the truth and the facts. Do I know everything? No. Have I overlooked something? Possibly. Doesn't necessarily make me wrong. But at least I'm giving you the information to open up discussions with people. And what I'm saying is within that discussion, somebody's going to be contentious enough to try to push back and tell you that you're wrong, when you yourself know for a fact that you have the truth and the facts in front of your face. And you know it to be true. So what you need to do is turn the mirror onto them. Take a mirror and shove it in their face and say, do you see how ignorant you truly are? That a mirror to the opposite, how can I put this? The Democratic Socialists, the Fascist Republicans are there, and if you put a mirror in front of their face, it's like garlic to a vampire. They're going to run away because they can see their real self, and they know who they truly are. Okay? That's just, it's just the way it is. I don't understand why people continually want to base their particular beliefs on a foundation that is falling apart in the Democratic, Socialist, Fascist, Republican foundations. Why? To me, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know, but Tell me things that I don't know. I mean, show me something I may have overlooked, okay? Because go to American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook and drop in a comment there. Or put in a comment on the Spreaker side of things there in the comment section. Or email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. And that brings me to this. The InfoWars Nightly News, 9th of May, 2017. The complete and utter demise of the left. A look into the latest antics of crazed liberals throughout the U.S. Just when you thought the elements of the political left couldn't get lower, they began spreading more ridiculous fake news and promoting even more ridiculous antics. This is going on American Liberty Radio Podcast. Go to American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. Like it. Love it. Share it. Whatever. It's there for you and for your intellectual consumption. Rand Paul, one last thing of the day. Fox Insider, 10th of May, 2017. Senator Rand Paul, Dems pushing a huge myth about Trump collusion with Russia. Firing, quote, could not happen soon enough, unquote, says Senator Paul. Senator Rand Paul, Republican of Kentucky, says he's seen no evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, accusing Democrats of pushing a huge myth. So that's going on the American Liberty Radio Podcast there on Facebook. There you go. So I want people to understand that I don't have anything against someone who disagrees with me, number one. Number two, they can say whatever they want. These people can say whatever they want. They can disagree with me all they want. If they're not willing to have an open mind and sit down and have a discussion, a decent discussion with me about the facts and the truth, I don't want to spend 2 seconds in the same room with them. It's pointless for me to argue with someone who is so against peace, freedom, liberty, and security for this nation. I cannot even begin to understand why these people are the way they are. But I know how they act. I know the actions they take. And I know that what the actions are based off of. And I know that's what I talk about. I don't even want to get into the mind of one of these people because, I don't want to go crazy like they are. Dianne Feinstein, Maxine Waters. Shall I go on? This whole thing, folks, this whole political arena can be changed. And it will be changed by people who think outside of the box, who are free thinkers, who look for the truth and the facts that are there. And dig, and research and investigate as much as they possibly can to find that. And whether or not you find it, and whether or not you can present it, and whether or not other people will believe it, well, as I can speculate from there, but I don't want to. You can talk to people all day long. If they believe you, they believe you. If they don't, they don't. Pretty much, there's no shade of gray there. It's what it is. Okay? I don't know, folks. I don't know. If you like what I talk about on American Liberty Radio Network, please support the network with your ad dollars or become a patron. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Go to the sponsors page. Become a patron. Drop $1 in the kitty to help me keep the lights on around here. Or become a sponsor for American Liberty Radio Network. All the rates are right there. And if you have any questions, email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Folks, I'm out of here. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. American Liberty Radio on Spreaker.com. Sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.